Met. I'm the president for the Rotary Club of Harrisburg, and I invite you to join us for a traditional luncheon meeting, service on a Monday, or Rotary alternate meeting. Everyone's invited, and that means you. Check out our website or Facebook page for more information.
So I am very honored and pleased to introduce to some and reintroduce to others our favorite House Representative, Patty Kim. As you know, Patty was a former news anchor and reporter and Harrisburg City Councilwoman for 2 terms and was first elected to the House in 2012. Leading the caucus's charge to provide a livable wage for all Pennsylvanians, Patty Kim has introduced bills that will increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Her priorities also include combating climate change, bolstering public schools by ensuring qualified teachers receive a competitive wage and pay, providing pathways for college students to enter their favorite community college or various partnerships. Kim has serves as the deputy whip of the House Democratic Caucus and is on the appropriations, the education, the insurance, the local government. Do you get the point? She does not sleep. She's on all those committees and more. She's also a board member for the Capital Preservation Committee, the Team PA Board, and United Way of the Capital Region. A graduate of Boston College. I know. She wishes she was born and raised in Harrisburg. She would have been a hack grad. She is married to John Sider, and together they have 2 children. Probably most important, and Jeff, I hope you're listening to this, Patty Kim is our favorite, HAC's favorite House representative, and she was also a mace bearer at one of our graduation ceremonies. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a very warm Rotary welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Skate, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. I feel that I'm among friends today. Thank you for having me. Over the years, I've been able to see up close the work of this Rotary Club. I can confidently say that many lives have been touched because of this organization, and many lives have been lifted and made easier because of you and your work. So thank you. Your volunteer work has been invaluable. Your members I've seen, whether it be the news or on your website, invested their time in the Salvation Army, Habitat for Humanity, the food banks, overnight shelters, Steve Schwartz, local schools, and raised money for scholarships. The list goes on. Thank you for caring, and thank you for your service. I was asked to speak to the club about 10 years ago by the late Chuck Wingate. Do you guys remember him? Yeah, the executive director for the Bethesda Mission. What a great man. But I remember speaking to a lot more men in that room that day. Today, it looks a bit different with diversity and more women. And for example, President Beth, thank you for being intentional and opening this group to others. I know your club is stronger for that. I just lost my place. I wanted to give you a brief legislative update. Right now, the House and Senate Appropriations Committee are meeting for hearings, so we are not in session. The governor, I believe, gave a solid budget proposal last month. He received praise from both parties, very refreshing. I like that he's proposed increasing the minimum wage, allocating resources for mental health professionals in schools, putting trades in public schools, incentivizing more people to enter the nursing and teaching fields and law enforcement. He has touched on a lot of issues that need attention right now and resources, and I am eager to help support this budget bill. I predict that this will not be a long drawn out budget fight, but a fairly easy budget pass. I do predict a fight, just not a long drawn out fight. The only controversy that I see is what we do with American rescue dollars that we still have, billions of it. I believe the Republicans, it's safe to say that they want to keep it in the rainy day fund. Democrats would like to use it on issues that are really, in need right now. For example, I think the best use of that money would be our schools, whether it be college, CPC college, infrastructure, maintenance, and some of the buildings in Philadelphia, they're literally leaking with water, with asbestos. We could use that dollar. It's not reoccurring money. It's a one-time, I think, expense that will really help our students. So the 103rd district, which I represent, looks a little bit different after the lines were redrawn. I lost half of Harrisburg. I have basically downtown, central Allison Hill. I lost all of South Side. I go all the way up to Susquehanna Township, and then I cross the river into Cumberland County. I have Camp Hill, Ormsburg, Lemoyne, and all of East Pennsboro Township. Right now, I am just trying to get to know the area better and meeting as many elected officials and residents as much as I can. Unfortunately, Dr. Ski read an outdated version of my bio. I am serving now as majority chair of a committee. It's called the Aging and Older Adult Services. We are looking to pass Governor Shapiro's budget proposal that will put more dollars back into seniors and people with disabilities, called the property tax rent rebate. Right now, you can receive up to $650. The proposal will be up to $1,000 and just expand the program for the eligibility. And we hope to get that passed. And finally, on May 1st, we'll be launching the new Pennsylvania Legislative AAPI Caucus. We now have an historic 4 Asian Americans in the legislature. They are Senator Nikhil Saval of Philly, Representative Arvind Venkat of Allegheny County, Representative Tarek Khan of Philadelphia County, and myself. We like to come together to make sure that the issues for the AAPI in Pennsylvania are heard and addressed. When I was writing the speech, I couldn't help be reflective over the last decade since the last time I spoke to this group. Looking back, what stood out was the mistakes I've made. I don't know why I was just thinking about that. When it came to constituent work, I learned early on that sympathy wasn't helpful for the people I was trying to help. Sympathy made me want to do things in order to make me feel better, to get rid of that nagging feeling of sense of guilt that somehow my life turned out okay and theirs didn't. I learned that sympathy usually prompted an action that didn't require much of me and minimal impact for the other person. So I went a little bit further and tried being empathetic instead, and I learned a lot more. I realized that escaping poverty was as easy as climbing Mount Everest. Only a few make it to the top. I learned that serving in prison without going crazy within those cell walls, getting out and staying out was as easy as climbing Mount Everest twice. The barriers for some of my residents are incredibly high. I had a friend, a mom of 2 young boys living in South Allison Hill. She was working full-time, finishing college at Central Penn College. Sorry, Dr. Ski. and taking focus, I'm speaking. And finishing college and taking care of her family. Well, there was a drug dealer on her block who would ask one of her young sons to get something at the corner store. If her son did that, he got a little bit of cash, like $20 or $40. As a single mom struggling financially, that was helpful. That was really good. This seemed harmless at the time, but the drug dealer was obviously grooming him to sell drugs by enticing him with easy money, and she had to eventually tell him to stop. My teenage son, we live in the city too, doesn't have that dangerous influence on a daily basis on our block. And guess what? I don't have to worry about him being pulled over by police and teaching him how to respond at a traffic stop. Life seems to work against many of my residents. The best thing that I've done as a state rep was to hire someone who was born and raised in Harrisburg. Some of you may already know her. My right-hand woman, Angel Fox, the district office manager, she's been with me for about 9 years. She has taught me so much about the city. I was born in San Diego, lived most of my life outside of DC. So this is a new area for me. She has introduced me to some amazing people she grew up with in high school who have hearts of gold. We work together to help others. She's challenged me to go further in showing people that we care. I thought I was doing enough. She just keeps pushing me more and more. I've had to cook a pregame meal for Steel High and Harrisburg High School football players. They eat a lot. They eat a lot. Did you know that the Central PA Food Bank will donate food and a chef and help you cook the meals in their kitchen? It was so awesome to work with my staff members and Central PA Food Bank volunteers. And we made big pans of pasta so that we can serve it to the players before like a big game. The coaches appreciated it, the players appreciated it, and best of all, their parents appreciated it. They felt the love from us. Angel has a passion for second chances, and she's one of the very few experts in our area who can help others apply for pardons and expungements. She has touched so many people's lives and given them hope, and I'm so grateful for her. We have helped numerous people erase their old nonviolent charges from the records so that they can apply for jobs with confidence, without worry that there's baggage on their records, and very least, go in with a better self-worth. What I observed is that there are people, especially Black and Brown women, who are the powerhouses in their homes and communities. These women are smart and successful at work and at home. So many people depend on them. So many people ask for help, for money, because they're the leaders in the community. And because they've gone through similar struggles and pain, they don't say no. They don't say no. So it's really important to recognize these men and women. Sorry, lost my place again. Recognize these men and women because they are carrying a lot and making the community better. They pay for other people's mistakes out of pocket when they don't have a lot of their own. They give and give of their time and resources while a lot of times neglecting their own health and children. Angel also has a business and is a founder of a nonprofit that helps survivors of domestic violence. As their supervisor, I have to remind her to take time off when stuff happens at home, and it always does. We are flexible with her schedule. They are pillars of the community, and we need to support them. I rarely give her advice because I have no idea how to start a business or a nonprofit like she does. But what I do consistently is encourage more, and root for her. Rotarian Jenny Roth is a self-proclaimed boring aunt who will show up to special moments and say, way to go. We need more boring aunts to flood our thoughts with positivity and drown out the negative internal voices. Another Rotarian who does this well is Dr. Ski. He is always sending us positive thoughts and encouragement. I feel supported by him, and it helps me to help others. They do this for a lot of people. I'm just grateful to be one of them. Thank you, guys. To sum things up, I've learned that sympathy is good, empathy is better, and treating someone like your own is best. I knew I was fully immersed in my city when a couple of kids down my street were on bikes and being mean to one of the other boys. I ran out feeling like a crazy Korean neighbor. What are you doing? Leave me alone. You get up, you're fine, go. The kids are like, who is this lady? I'm gonna go. But that's okay. I want my neighborhood to be safe and the people in it. When I speak to students, I always say to them, one of you will be in this seat. And I want to let them know that they can, because it's a real possibility. I gave the speech to a summer camp run by the Salvation Army, which, by the way, everybody knows is an amazing organization. They do such great work. But as I was leaving the camp, a young Black girl ran after me. I turned around, she had the door open and yelled out, "Miss Patty, I'm taking your job one day." I was so happy to hear that. Her confidence and boldness, and I believed her. She scared me. She's going to take this job one day. So with that, I hope that we have that same confidence and boldness to run towards the pain when we see it, to continue to serve others, and pray that we leave a lasting impact in people's lives. Thank you, Rotary Club of Harrisburg. We need you. Keep going and keep up the great work. Thank you very much.